Hey guys, it's Max with Max Tech. Today I'll be showing you how you can very easily install and upgrade the RAM in the brand new 2019 5K iMac. And this tutorial will also work for 2017, 2015, and 2014 iMacs as well. A lot of people complain saying that these are expensive machines and they only come with 8 gigs of RAM standard, even if you're buying a very expensive model like this one right here, which costs over $3,000. But there is a huge benefit, and that is you can save up to $680 if you upgrade and install the RAM yourself. It's very easy to do, and unlike what some people say, it does not void your warranty at all. In fact, Apple actually has a step-by-step install guide on their website showing you how to do it. The greater the total amount of RAM that you want to get in your system, the more savings that you get. You guys can see that little chart right there, and we'll have links to the RAM that we used in the video description, but there's also a few configurations that you can do yourself that Apple doesn't offer, and I'll talk about that closer to the end of this video, so let's get right into it. Let's start out by shutting down the machine and then unplugging it from the wall and then removing the cable. There you go. And the slot that we're gonna access is actually hidden right behind the stand here. Right next to the power cable port, we have this little button that releases this kind of trap door. You do need to press down quite a bit for it to start popping up. And we might do this a few times. And then you'll see that it's gonna start popping up. You wanna grab and pull up. And that gives us the access to the RAM slots. Next, we have these retention clips. So you wanna push out, and then you'll have access to your RAM. I'm gonna grab these with 2 fingers, pull up, and they slide right out. And we'll do the next one as well. If you're only adding 2 more sticks of RAM, you can leave those in there and just slide in the new additional RAM, but I'm adding a whole set of RAM. And if you grab your new set, you'll see that this little cutout is actually offset. So you want the longer portion to be towards the right side if you're sitting the same way I am, and the shorter portion to the left. And these will only go in one way. So once you start putting them in these little slots here that are cut out, if it's not seating in properly, you don't need to put too much force. So you just want to make sure that you're aligning them properly. And if you're looking at an angle, you actually see the little tab there. So I slide it down, push just gently, and it's going to give you a nice little click. Let's do the next one. There we go. Third. And fourth. Now that they're all in there, I'm just gonna grab these tabs, push down, out slightly, and they'll lock this whole thing in. We can grab our little cover, align it properly here, and press down each 4 corners, and there we go, it's installed. Now let's go ahead and lift up our Mac and plug it back in. As you can see, we now have 64 gigabytes of RAM, and in just a few minutes, we saved $680, and we still have our full Apple warranty. If you have Apple Care, it's not gonna affect it at all. So we'll have links to the RAM in the video description, and at the start of the video, I said that there's a few configurations that you could do yourself that you can't actually get from Apple. The first one is if you just want 24 gigs of RAM, you can actually keep the 8 gigs it comes with, add 2 more 8 gig sticks, you have 24 gigs, and that's enough for most people. If you're just doing email, web surfing, you use Chrome, you watch movies, maybe even simple video editing with Final Cut 1080p videos with simple effects, that's gonna be perfect. That's such a good deal instead of spending $200 from Apple to get an additional 8 gigs of RAM. On top of that, if you're a medium to heavy user, you can actually add 2 sticks of 32 gigabytes. That's gonna give you 40 gigabytes total, and that's more than enough for most people. Of course, you can do what we did and jumped up to 64 with 2 sets of 32. But what's even crazier is that this iMac, the new 2019 version, actually supports 128 gigabytes of RAM, and Apple does not offer that. We'll have a link in the video description where you can buy a set. It's just a little bit more expensive than what Apple charges for 64 gigabytes, and you get 128 gigabytes. Other than this system, you have to jump up to like an iMac Pro to be able to get that. And with iMac Pro, you can't upgrade the RAM yourself. And give it a couple months, I think that price is gonna drop on those large high capacity RAM sticks, and you'll be able to get 128 for less than the price that Apple charges for 64. So thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, you can ask in the comment section below. This has been Max with Max Tech. Hit that little circle if you want to see more videos like this one, and I'll see you in the next one.